Well, it happened again. Luckily, no one was injured except for the guy who was actually, you know, had his bulletproof vest tested and the guy that was perpetrating this heinous event. Now, I don't need to go on to X or any other social media website to know or even to tell you out there in Lazo land that the insanity of the left continues unabated. No one should be surprised. I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. This is from Town Hall, and the left were absolute psychopaths following the attack on the White House Correspondents of America dinner, I think. So this is why also even Fetterman saying, okay, yeah, I was right there front and center. Build the ballroom because that's a safe location, you know. And I think where President Reagan was his unfortunate meeting with a couple of bullets was at the same hotel but outside. Now, what do we know about the guy who did it? From Torrance, California, check. Leftist, check. Voted for Kamala, check. Gave her campaign money, check. And he was a teacher. Did I mention that? He's a teacher. He's a leftist. Yeah, leftist. He's from a mixed race family. His mom is white, I think. His dad is black. And you'd think he seemed like a pretty intelligent person. He created his own video game, according to Steam. Some of the mad lads on 4chan, 8chan, whatever, was looking at it. Okay. So why does this guy do it? Well, because when you get a cacophony of the insane rhetoric from the left telling he's a Nazi, he's a Nazi, he's a Nazi, he's trying to destroy democracy, he's a Nazi, he's a Nazi. If you say that enough, you're going to get it. That sort of information is going to bypass the blood-brain barrier in some idiot out there, especially leftists. It's going to get in there, knock back around a few times, and he's going to do something crazy. Apparently, he flew from California all the way out here to Washington, D.C. with a gun. But then even questions more. Where did he get the gun, right? I don't know, because usually it's kind of a pain in the ass to fly with a gun, especially if you're in California and you're going to fly to D.C. where they don't allow guns at all. So, obviously, there's an investigation going on. He's getting arraigned Monday, which is tomorrow. So, Cole Allen of Torrance, California, tried to attack the White House Correspondents Association dinner at the Washington Hilton on Saturday night. He was reportedly a hotel guest. Okay, the plot thickens. He was armed with multiple firearms and knives and sprinted past security checkpoints outside the ballroom. He was stopped by police before he could enter the venue, but not after gunfire was exchanged. It led to the evacuation of the President Trump, Melania Trump, J.D. Vance, and other top Trump officials, including RFK and his wife. RFK seemed kind of, well, it's happened again. Their Kennedys are kind of, I'm not saying immune to this sort of thing, and you don't want to. They're Kennedys, and they're kind of, history sort of. Anyways, a lot of fog of war stuff. A lot of people said he's dead. He was shot and killed. No. He was taken alive. They tackled him. So he's in custody. Believed he acted alone. Again, where did he get the weapons? Where did he get the knives? And he was a hotel guest. That's my questions right now, because you just can't just pick up weapons anywhere without legally, I should say. I don't know about illegally. But you would have to know somebody, not just some random dude on the street. Hey, can I have a couple firearms and a couple knives? Yeah, bro. Yeah, fam, I got you. I don't know. A Secret Service uniformed division officer was injured and transported with non-life-threatening injuries. Trump did talk to the guy, and he says he's fine. Yay. Dinner was postponed due to security concerns. The good news is that no one was killed. However, the media tried to play the "we don't know he was targeting" game, which is comical for now. Left-leaning influencers on social media are pushing that it was staged. That's the other thing. Oh, yeah, it was staged. Okay. If this was staged, then everything is staged. Whatever. Because Trump is they're Trump obsessed, and they're generally foolish, and they don't want to be held responsible for their nonsensical violence promoting rhetoric that fuels the lunatics trying to assassinate government officials. That is a fact, Jack. And it's the worst people, too. And these people will be the only ones asking why this happened. And then, of course, you get these idiotic leftists staged as false flag. Your periodic-minded Rick Wilson's a horrible person. He is. Total coincidence, right? Yeah. Disgusting, no words. Oh, yeah, and this brewing company up in Wisconsin says, well, we almost got free beer day, which means that if someone were to be successful, there'd be free beer at that place. Yeah. That's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. Regardless, we stand at the ready to pour free beer the day it happens. I would like to say what I really think should happen to this company. I can't say it because of YouTube's terms of service, and it would be quite illegal. So as long as it keeps bouncing up in my head, and I don't say anything about it, you can't get me. Unhinged leftist has meltdown over assassin not killing President Trump. You shouldn't do this. It shouldn't. But apparently people like it. I'm not going to play it because look at her. She's got a 5 head. Immediately after the government opened fire at the White House, correspondent and Lincoln Project co-founder Steve Schmidt blamed Trump for poisoning the rhetoric in America. No, not the guy that was perpetrating this heinous act. Well, we got to blame Trump because words. Okay. Now they know how students feel when this kind of thing happens in their schools. Oh, okay. Oh, great. Stop staging fake. See, this woman fantasizes about seeing headlines that Trump is deceased. I cannot wait. It's going to be glorious. Oh, yeah. Do you leftists even think out there? You really think that'll be glorious? I would hate for that to happen because I'm going to tell you something out there, leftists, and out there in Lazo land. If that were to happen, you think you're just going to be all fine and dandy, and we on the right side of the political spectrum, we're just going to ignore all you leftists out there saying crazy shit. You think so? Okay. Keep thinking that. His approval ratings are so bad he staged another assassination attempt. Next thing you're going to say the moon landing's fake. Okay. Don Lemon said some dumb stuff. Marielle Trump said some dumb stuff. And it was staged for people like this. Yeah. Then Mary Catherine Ham goes out and says, you idiots think Trump is staging assassination attempts? You think he would agree to a plan wherein someone stops him from trolling a captive audience of thousands of journalists for an hour and a half? This is his dream scenario. That is true. So my point being here in conclusion here is that the leftists out there are going to continue this rhetoric. They're going to continue wanting to wish the death and destruction upon our democracy, our representative republic, because they don't like the president. Their election didn't go their way. So therefore, they'll just sit back and hope someone gets crazy enough to do something crazy against the president of the United States, the God Emperor of the United States. And I say that tongue in cheek. The point is out there, folks, is that until we stop the leftists right now, until you stop saying, well, I don't like the way the Republicans are doing, so I'm going to vote Democrat. If you do that, more of this is going to happen. So continue to fight against each other, rail against each other. Why don't we do like the leftists do and kind of come together without the violence and vote these mother effers out of office? All the leftists, all the Democrats need to go. And if that doesn't work, more of this is going to happen, unfortunately. And I don't want it to happen. You don't want it to happen. We all don't want it to happen. Unfortunately, leftists are violent, vicious, evil lizard creatures that want to kill you and your family if they don't get their way. And this is just more evidence to show you that once they don't get their way, they start getting violent. Case in point, last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, they got violent. And their rhetoric hasn't stopped, nor will it stop.